Hey, good afternoon, church family. It's been a while since our last update, and we just felt it was important to bring you up to speed on some of the goings on here with the Utica Church of Christ. Let's begin by talking a minute about our worship gatherings. Hebrews 10:24 and 25 tells us this, and let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another all the more as you see the day approaching. You know, it's so important for us to gather together as a church family. And we do that on Sunday mornings for a couple of reasons. One, of course, is to worship this great God that we serve, and this God who loves us dearly. It's our opportunity to give him the love and the adoration that's certainly due his name. But it's also, as this Hebrews passage says, it's also a time for us to receive and to provide encouragement to one another. And that's an important aspect of why we come together on Sunday mornings. And as you know, this has by and large been interrupted over the last several months due to the pandemic. And you know, from the beginning of this pandemic, our leadership's philosophy has been to be careful without being fearful. The same God who instructed us to place our faith in him is also the same God who instructed us to use common sense and to not put him to the test, which is why we put into place many of the things that you've experienced over this last 4 or 5 months. However, beginning this Sunday, September 13, you're going to see some changes occurring. For one thing, we are suspending our 9 a.m. drive-in worship service for the foreseeable future. This service has served us well throughout these last few months. However, after much prayer and consideration, our elders have arrived at the conclusion that it's time for us to come back together, albeit in a careful and in a safe manner. We are going to continue on, obviously, with our 10:30 a.m. indoor worship gathering, and we've put several things in place, to keep us safe, to assist in maintaining social distancing. You'll notice that we have every other pew roped off. Overflow seating will be available for you in the fellowship hall where the worship service can be viewed on the big screen TV. Of course, the big question that people have is this: well, what about masks? Well, in an effort to stay with the guidelines of the state of Ohio and the CDC, our elders strongly suggest the wearing of masks. However, they are not required at this time, as Licking County is now in the orange and at level 2. So for the foreseeable future, masks will be optional. Now, what we do ask, though, is that everybody please extend grace to each other. If you are experiencing any of the COVID-19 symptoms, or if you have been in contact with someone who has tested positive for COVID-19 in the past 14 days, we ask that you please, for the safety of the other worshipers, we ask that you please refrain from entering our worship facilities. Now, for those who have compromised immune systems and or elderly, we will continue to live stream this service on Facebook. And you can access that from the website every Sunday morning at 10:30. This service will also continue to be transmitted on 99.1 on the FM dial. If you wish to gather in the parking lot, or listen from your vehicles, you're certainly welcome to do that. Now let's talk a minute about our children and youth ministry. We are setting up a family-friendly area at the rear of our fellowship hall during the 10:30 a.m. worship gathering, and this area is being reserved for parents and children, infant through pre-K. This is just a place for families to sit in a safe environment. We'll have some sanitized play items for the young folks. We'll also have craft packets that will have some Bible instruction in them, just to enable the parents an opportunity to be able to to be with their kids during the worship hour. Also, children's church. This is probably where you'll see the biggest change. This is for our children ages kindergarten through 5th grade. During the 10:30 worship gathering, this is probably, again, the biggest change. We're moving to a full hour format, meaning that you, as you come in, it's a little different. We'll not be releasing the children following communion as we have been in the habit of doing here. However, we will now be having the youth for the full hour downstairs with teachers and leaders. You can check in as you come in on Sunday morning. You may want to arrive a little early. You can go to the fellowship hall. You can check your your children in. Again, kindergarten through 5th grades. You can check them in. Then go ahead and be seated and just to be able to experience our worship service. And then go and pick up your children following that worship gathering as well. Also, our Impact Youth. This is for our middle school and high schoolers. That will also be resuming this coming Sunday night. And we encourage everybody who maybe has a relative or maybe kids in your own home that are of that age group. We certainly encourage them to be here on Sunday nights, beginning this coming Sunday night at 6:30. And we'll get back to that youth programming. Hey, gang, thank you so much for your patience and your understanding throughout this unprecedented time that we've been through. I know it's not been a lot of fun for all of us, and certainly me included. But man, I am looking forward to coming back together this Sunday morning in our worship together. And so I hope to see you there. God bless you, and have a great rest of your week.